Hi guys, it's well, go. Hi guys, it's Dr. George. My stream was deleted. Hold on 1 second. Let me re-add this. Let's see. All right, I think we're good now. Good evening, it's Dr. Belinda George here with Tucked In Tuesdays. I have a secret friend, and she's on the phone. And she's tuned in. I have a comment. Let's see who this is. Hello. Hi, Mike. Long time no see. How are you, Mike? Tell me all about your life, Mike. I have my friend, Miss Gilder. Say hello, Lisanne. She's waving. It's blurry. I gotta fix my lighting, but I'm gonna make sure y'all see her because she's so pretty. That's my friend Lisanne. But you can't see her. She's probably glad about that. She's trying to wave, but I think my screen's so bright. Hold on, Lisanne. Let's see if we can dim the screen a little bit. Oh, yep, there we go. Now you can wave. Hold on. Oh, let's see. There she is. Now you can wave. There she is. So there's Lisanne Gilder, and she's tuning in. Hello, Mike. Let's see. Hello, Dr. George. Alexis Elkins said, hello, Dr. George and Lisanne. So you got a shout out, Lisanne. Oh, her name is in lights. Thank you, Alexis. Make sure to share this with your students. Mike and Mike's mission, I'm trying to get to DC next month to speak with members of Congress to get life better for people with disabilities. I'm with you, Mike. If there's anything I can do to help, let me know. And hi, Marty, my cousin. Hi, I'm doing fine. I love you too. So tonight's book is I Am Love, a book of compassion by Susan Verde, art by Peter Reynolds. Now, let me just tell you, compassion is something we all need. You know, we think that it's something that we all have, but not everybody's taught compassion. So hopefully this book will touch somebody. And this is the favorite part of my book, the most favorite. Look, he signs my book to Dr. George. I Am Love, a book of compassion. And then he signed his name. If you know anything about children's book, you know that Peter Reynolds is the guy. All right, so this book is my love letter to the world, as each one of us is worthy of love in all its forms and expressions. And we are all capable of adding light to the world when we listen to our hearts and choose love. And he dedicated this book to his mother, Hazel Reynolds, the Queen of Love. So let's see what this book is about. When I see someone going through a storm, my God, Lisanne just didn't realize what she tuned in for. When I see someone going through a storm, and you see someone going through a storm here, of hurt and unfairness, of anger and sadness, when the sun disappears and the skies grow dark. You see the storm. And I see there is fear. I ask myself, what can I do to help let the light back in? And you see her struggling. She has the light. She's struggling to get the light because she's in a storm, a mental storm. I put my hands on my heart and I listen, and that is where I find the answer. I have compassion and I act with tenderness. So she gives her an umbrella. I am love. I can listen and not say a word. I can be there. Love is being present. So they're just sitting together. I can hug and hold and say everything will be all right. Love is comfort. I can speak softly and choose my words and actions carefully. Love is gentle. I can give thanks for all I have and am able to share. Love is gratitude. I can keep my mind and body safe and healthy. Love is taking care of me. I can express what's important to me. Love is creative. I can know that no one is perfect. Love is understanding. I can do my best to make things better when something is wrong. Love is effort. I can celebrate those I've loved before. Love is remembering. I can find goodness in a kind word, a helping hand, or a shared smile. Love is tiny gestures. I can breathe in the air that the whole world shares and know all creatures are made from the very same stardust. Love is connection. When the clouds roll in for others and for me, I now know there is something I can do. I can let my heart lead the way. I am love. You are love. We are love. And with love, we will weather the storm and light up the sky together. All of them together. And so he has a little note and he says, love is everywhere. It is inside of all of us and all around us. And there are so many ways it can be shared and expressed. But sometimes things happen in life that make us feel afraid, sad, frightened, or helpless. And our ability to find that love can get lost. I Am Love is an exploration of the many, many ways love exists and an affirmation of how once we listen to our hearts and find the love within ourselves, we can share it with the world and find connection and compassion. My hope is that this book will inspire conversations with our children about love and all of its expressions and about how we are not helpless, but in fact have the power to make the world more beautiful when we come from a place of love. As a kids yoga and mindfulness teacher, I often look to those practices to help children cope with the heavy emotions they feel. There are very simple exercises that children of all ages can do positively to affect their psychology and cultivate a sense of physiology. Yeah, that's the word. And cultivate a sense of connection and compassion. Following are some heart opening yoga poses and a simple heart meditation that can help mind, body, and spirit and bring forth love. So they have the fish pose here. Wouldn't you like to see me lay there? I wouldn't get up. They'd have to do a whole nother pose. The cobra pose and the cow pose in a chair. What else does he have? And heart meditation. So this is how you do heart meditation. So if you're listening, let's all do heart meditation together. Now that these heart opening poses have created physical space in your body, try this meditation to bring awareness and warmth into your emotional heart. Find a comfortable seat and place your hands on your heart. And take your hands, place them on your heart, or that space between your ribs known as your heart space. So here or here. Placing a hand on your heart actually causes the release of a chemical in the brain called oxytocin, which simply put is the hormone of safety, bonding, and connection. So this gesture can be extremely soothing to the nervous system. And you know what? When Dr. George gets upset or shocking news, I immediately do that. Didn't know why I did it, but it's a safety mechanism. So you close your eyes, or you simply look down and you begin to breathe slowly in through your nose, directing your breath to your heart. So breathe in as if you're trying to get that air to your heart. And imagine with each breath that you are lighting up your heart with a warm, bright light. Notice how your heart feels. So you breathe it in, you're lighting your heart, and then you breathe it out. And as you continue to breathe, bring to mind a moment when you felt completely loved and safe. So when you take this next breath in, think about a time you felt completely loved and safe. It could be a time shared with a parent, a pet, a teacher, a friend, or a kind gesture or word that made you feel that way. Just a moment. Notice how your heart feels and let that feeling travel throughout your whole body. What you're feeling in your heart, just keep your eyes closed and let it go to your arms, your fingers, down your legs, into your toes. And do this for a few rounds of breath. Then slowly, I'm going to count to 10 and I want you to slowly open your eyes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Slowly open your eyes and notice how you feel. It's kind of a safe place. So the more we do these practices, the easier it becomes to connect with our hearts and find love, even when the clouds roll in. And Peter Reynolds is sending us love and light. So this is I am love, and I always do my biggest takeaway. You know, as kind as Dr. George is, I'm not always nice, right? There's two different things. You can be kind and not nice, and you can be nice and not kind. They're not the same, and people think they're the same. They're not. It's a huge misconception. So sometimes I ask myself, am I being kind and nice, or I'm being kind or nice? And sometimes I say things and they make me feel so bad. And I can only imagine if it made me feel that bad, how I made the other person feel. So I'm going to learn, as nice as I am, I'm not always kind, but I'm going to remember that everybody, I'm getting emotional, I always do, you know, because we take for granted happiness, right? And so you walk around and if you helped everybody that needed help, and you know, help isn't always monetary, it could be a smile. You know, you could just smile at somebody and change their day or say hello. So I challenge you, because it's still early, to just do something kind tonight. And kind being, you can send a text message, you can call, you can go inside of your house and do something that you don't typically do, but you know that it'll make a difference. Try doing something, because if each of us are love, right? If each of, whether you believe in God or not, if each of us are love and we extend that to other people, can you imagine how we would change the world by exhibiting that you are love? All of us have the capability to love, every single one of us, but do we keep it to ourselves? You know, you have to love yourself in order to know how to love others. And if you don't love yourself, which George didn't for a long time, I made people love me so that I could feel love. But now I love myself enough that I can give to people without having to take from their love, if that makes sense. So I Am Love, a book of compassion. Learn to have compassion. The adults that are listening, there's a movie on Netflix. It will teach you all about compassion. It's called Straw by Tyler Perry. It's not a children's movie, but it will teach you to have compassion. And there's a quote in the movie that says, being poor is expensive because it doesn't cost you money, but up here mentally. So I want you to think before you say something rude, before you send that angry text message, or before you ignore the text message, or before you look at somebody's picture or something and have something negative to say. If you have to say it privately or inbox them, then don't say it. And if you have something good to say, inbox, do it publicly. Sometimes people just need that. It doesn't need to be a secret that you love someone. But I have to do my biggest takeaway in this book. The biggest takeaway in this book is when I see someone going through a storm, which is every single day. And she wasn't in a storm in the beginning, but her friend was, or the stranger was in a storm, right? You know what she did? She walked right into that. She walked right into that storm with her, knowing that she left her sunshine to go into her storm to help. And sometimes you have to go into someone else's storm to understand. And I know a lot of you are little. You probably don't understand why Dr. George is crying, but sometimes we want to keep our sunshine because it's safe. And sometimes people need you to go into their storm to pull them out of their storm. And it's not easy. It's not easy. But remember, she put her hands on her heart, and then she went into the storm and she gave her that umbrella. And look at the sunshine. Look what the weather did. It parted and they both had sunshine, and then they sat and talked. But they couldn't do this if she didn't go in the storm with her. So you have a bucket. Your heart is a bucket, and you can choose to keep your bucket full for yourself, or you can choose to pour into somebody else's bucket. So Dr. George doesn't read the books ahead of time, but every time I read a book, it's like I needed to read that book. And I told Lisanne earlier that she said, "What makes you pick the onesie?" And I said, "I just trust God," and I get the onesie. And it happened to be yellow, like the sun. And it happened to be a lion, which is very tough. And I just want you to know, like I say every Tuesday, if nobody else tells you, Dr. George loves you. You don't have to do life alone. I don't care how bad it may seem or how bad your storm is, somebody's willing to walk in your storm with you. And it's okay to tell someone that you're in a storm, even if everybody else's light seems to be shining, because I'm pretty sure both of you can cry together about something. So, guys, I'll be here next Tuesday, 7:30 p.m. I know Jamie's going to get on and say I missed it, because normally I read 2 books, but I'm just getting started, so I don't want to burn myself out. So this book was enough. So you can buy this book online. You can go to Amazon. You can go to abramsyoungreaders.com and get this book. Peter Reynolds, and he even autographs if you go to his website. So Miss Karen Nils, we love Dr. George, grandkids too. Love y'all too. And Galen, thank you for inviting Becky. So guys, make sure, oh, Jamie said I was here already. I'm so glad, Jamie. So guys, just remember the storm. Sometimes you have to go in the storm to get that person. So go and help somebody that you know that's in a storm. And if it's you in the storm and you don't have anybody to walk in the storm, inbox me. I'm willing to get a little drenched tonight. Okay. So guys, next Tuesday, 7:30 p.m. in July, I'm going to start having guests on the show. So if you're willing to be a guest, I know I have some people, you don't have to be an author. We'll find a book. And Michelle said, "You are the best." Well, thank you, Michelle. We'll find a book, and you can do it from your home, or you can come sit on the couch with me, or we can find a place. So guys, if no one else tells you, Dr. George loves you, good night. See you guys next Tuesday, 7:30 p.m.